Gruesome Magazine.
Hello, I am Doc Rotten, your host. This is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-host, Jeff Moore, Crystal Cleveland, Dave Dreher, and I will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. This week, we are doing something very special. We are counting down the top 10 films we've reviewed since January of 2020 through June, throughout the first 6 months of the year. So each of us tallied up our top 10. I gave them some numbers, just random. No, I gave them the numbers based on the score, tallied them up, and we're going to talk about our top 10. But before we do, let's find out who is here. The crew, starting off with my co-host, Jeff Moore. Jeff, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. This is the episode where we find out if we can all count to 10 and we know which part of the year is the first 6 months.
Yes, and we have to count backwards.
Yes.
Ooh, scary.
You're throwing another curve at me, Doc. I don't know.
Yes. But I think you can do it, sir. I think you can do it. All right. Also joining us is Crystal Cleveland. She is the living dead girl. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited about this one. This is fun because this gives y'all like some chances to see some movies y'all may not have heard about.
Yep. You got some red on you.
Doc?
Okay. Bad joke. All right. Also joining us is Dave. Dave, how you doing?
Well, you think a Shaun of the Dead reference would get a much better reaction than that, Doc?
It was like crickets.
That was nothing. Nothing.
Okay, if you want to know the truth, I was like, you stumped me. You stumped me.
No.
And then I had to act angry because that's the only way I could cover up my emotional pain. Okay, it hurt me, cut me teeth.
I appreciated it, Doc. It did not go unappreciated.
All right, well, I yes, all right. So let's just dive into it because I think everybody wants to know what the top 10. We're going to count 10 to 1. That's Jeff. We can do it, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
All right. So each of us will just kind of give a spiel about the film. We're not going to dive into it too much. We want you to go back and listen to the reviews. Come on, they're great. Yeah. Or just at least watch the movies. These are 10 great movies. Now, I guess a preface is this has been a crappy year for theatrical films, right? Out of the past 6 months, 3 of them have, theaters have been shut down, and it's been a really crappy year for theatrical. But on the other side of the coin, we've had some tremendous, really terrific streaming and video on demand films. It's been pretty spectacular 6 months. I think that's my opinion. Mm-hmm. It was not difficult coming up with a top 10, which means that coming up with just a top 10 in December when we're doing the entire year is going to be mind-blowingly difficult. But without further ado, let's dive into our list, shall we? Jeff Moore, you're up first. Let's find out what it is. It is Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street. Jeff, what is this film about?
Where did you get that fancy sound effect? That's what I want to know.
Wow.
That was impressive.
Not giving away my secrets. Not giving away my secrets.
Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street is a great documentary about Mark Patton's experience filming Nightmare. It's actually kind of about his life, getting into acting and filming Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and then the fallout that came later, and online bullying and things in the horror community. And I think I said earlier, I think this is the most important film that we saw this year easily. It's a great example of how cruel we can be to folks we shouldn't be cruel to.
Well, we shouldn't be cruel to anybody. So, but yes, but you're absolutely right. This is a very
you don't know some of the people I know.
Well, I might deserve everything that comes my way, but we'll leave that there. But it's a very important film. Let's move on to number 9. Crystal Cleveland, tell us about Yummy.
Yay! Yummy. As I said when we did our review, Yummy is yummy. So it's a zombie film, as you can see. It's so gory, So great, so bloody. It's got some funny moments. It's got a lot of darkness, dark humor. It's fantastic. And it's on Shudder. It's awesome. I just love it. Yummy is yes. Like
Yummy.
that is I don't even like zombie movies and I really like it. So that's saying something.
Yeah, Shudder's been delivering the goods this year. Thank you very much, Shudder. And this film is one of the few films there, Dave, that actually had effects that turned my stomach.
Yeah, definitely. I think probably the bloodiest film we've seen. Don't you think?
It might be, except for number 8 might be giving it a little bit of a run because it had some gore, but it was.
Did you love
funny.
that segue? Did you love that segue?
I did. I just kind of dove right into
good.
that. So let's find out what it is, Dave. What is number 8 on our list?
Number 8 is Scare Package, another Shudder film. This is an anthology film. Goo Guy. You just can't say enough about Goo Guy. You really can't.
He's my hero. He's
got the humor. He's got the gore. It's all there. He's the complete package.
Did he get the girl? Did he get the girl? I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, he got the girl. Remember,
he kind of did.
Their goo was intermingling.
Right.
He was very upset because their goo was intertwining. So, but yeah, Scare Package was a lot of fun. A little uneven, but when it hit, it hit all the right notes when it hit them.
It did, and I love a good anthology when it does that, and it ended on the best note ever. It was good job. But let's move on, Jeff. We're counting down. So is this number 7? Jeff,
4.
Stop. Number 7. What is number 7? You're going to get me to say 4, and it's going to be so embarrassing.
Oh, so Dreamland from director Bruce McDonald. Look forward for this for like a year because I heard about it from Joseph Perry. I loved Pontypool and Hellions, his former previous horror movies, and Stephen McCaddy and Henry Rollins and Juliette Lewis, and it's not your father's horror film, but it's a lot of fun and it's got great style.
Great style. I like that.
It does.
It does, and it's got a great sense of humor, and it's got it too has some gory moments.
And Stephen McCaddy plays 2 characters, we think, but we're not sure.
Yeah.
Well, maybe more.
Maybe more.
Maybe more. All right, check that one out if you can, because you should. All right, up at number 6 is Crystal. What's up, number 6? Yeah.
The Wretched. Oh God! And see, this is a great movie because it deals with the witch, which.
Which witch?
Clearly I am. No, it's fantastic. It has. Okay, I know that not everyone has agreed with my sentiments on this movie from people that I've spoken with, but to me, this was a phenomenal movie. I loved the acting. I loved the boy. He carried this movie. He was young and did a fantastic job. The witch was amazing. The lair that she lived in. Oh my gosh. So yeah, and it's been a while since we watched it, and still I'm thinking about that. I think the story made a lot of sense. It flowed. It ended, kind of a little bit on a cliffhanger. Yeah, it's good. That was a fun one. I think that one was a fun, even though it's not a funny movie, it was a fun watch.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good description of it. It also did really well this spring in drive-in theaters, making over $1 million into drive-in. It was actually number 1 in the box office.
Right. Yeah. Kind of revived the drive-in.
Yeah. And it was a great film for that. So yes. Dave Dreher. You just land the gooey films, the gory films. What is number 5?
You worked it out that way. Why Don't You Just Die? This was a Russian film. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe so.
But yeah, this again, a lot of fun. All kinds of crazy things going on in this one. Actually, I'm ready to watch this one again. I haven't watched it since we reviewed it, and talking about it now makes me want to see it again. But yeah, there's a lot of craziness on this one. I don't want to spoil the view for anybody. This is one of those ones that you want to go into kind of dumb and just kind of let it wash over you.
Wash over you, just like a whole bunch of blood. It is delightfully gory. It's so funny. The style of the direction is marvelous, and before we move on, I just want to say that the lead actor, the kid in there, who doesn't get a lot of dialogue, but has one of the most expressive faces and comedically expressive faces for somehow without being Jim Carrey, right? It's not a Jim Carrey comedy.
Oh,
It's,
no.
Right.
it's just this, you just like, oh, you just see this movie. Oh man, it was high.
The shots, I will never forget them. Like just seeing the pipe right now. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so good.
All right. Up next is Becky. Tell us about number 4, Jeff.
This is another. I don't know. You could put this in the pretty darn gory version too. I mean, you got the lawnmower. I don't know what that is.
You got the eyeball. You got a lot of things. Yes.
The lawnmower goo, the eyeball. Anyway, yeah. And Kevin James is amazingly good at playing a charismatic neo-Nazi leader who's got a plan. We don't know what it is. And Lulu Wilson is wow. Does she turn into a fierce warrior as she battles Kevin James' character
And his goons. And his goons.
and we know Lulu Wilson from Ouija or Ouija.
Ouija.
I anyway, yeah. Origin of what was it? Origin of God, I'm being stupid.
Well, the Annabelle creation as well. Yeah.
Annabelle creation
and,
Ouija, origin of evil.
Yes.
Origin of evil. Yeah.
Was she in BFW?
House, no, but House on Haunted Hill. No,
Haunting of Hill House.
I always do that.
Wow. Between the two of us, we screwed all 3 of them up.
We just
Good job. Good job.
Becky was high on my list. I loved it. All right. I think are we at number 8? We're at number 8. Crystal Cleveland. What's number 8?
Number 2?
Number
Number
2.
two.
Number 3. Number 3. Number 3. Number
3.
3.
Number 3.
Hey, you're super good at this. Yeah. Woo! Color Out of Space, which is based on an H.P. Lovecraft. And oh my gosh. Okay, I know that Dave disagrees with us, but pretty much the entire Grue-Crew and H&R loved this freaking movie. It was Nicolas Cage did amazing. I thought all of the actors did amazing. The effects are just out of this world, and I'm done. And it was a really good representation of the story, in my opinion. I think this movie hits so many beautiful notes, and I loved it. Some of it just got so dark. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It had a little thing kind of feeling going on. Yeah, it's just good. If you haven't seen this, I don't think you're a horror fan.
Oh, nice.
And Tommy Chong.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Can't get better than that. Can't get better than that. All right. Our 9th entry, which is at number 2, I'm just going to cover all the bases, is I think one of the favorites for Dave Dreher. Dave, what is at number 2?
Number 2 is The Vast of Night. This was an Amazon original film. For me, this is so far this year the best film out there. Amazingly directed, incredibly well written. Acting is fantastic. No monsters, no blood, really per se. This is definitely a film about the radio age. It's all about the tension that the situation and the voices and the unknowing brings. I love this film a lot. I've watched it like 7 times since it's come out.
Oh wow!
I really like this one a lot. I cannot recommend it highly enough. Great movie.
Yes, it's it was very close to number 1 with our number 1. If I didn't like Becky as much as I did, the race would have been perhaps tied at the top. I think it was very close to each of us having one over the other in a perfect pair. But Becky messed that up. But in the perfect way. But yes, Fast Tonight was fantastic, and a perfect Jeff Moore film. You know, that's one of our catchphrases too, right? All right.
I'm so sorry,
Whiskey
y'all.
Tango
You know,
Foxtrot.
so we've just pigeonholed everyone because Jeff is the one. He likes the cerebral horror apparently, and you know, Dave likes
Artsy,
the
Dave would
Dave
Artsy
likes
fartsy,
the
yeah.
gore. So what am I then? What's Oh, I'm nothing. I'm nothing.
I think we're still trying to
We're
figure you
dumbfounded.
out. You're, you know, you're.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What? Huh?
Moving on.
Run, Doc, run.
At number one.
We're having some technical difficulties.
We're like, shh. That's static.
Oh, you're killing me. All right, at number one is Guns Akimbo. I was looking forward to this film, but I did not know how much I was looking forward to this film. It blew me away how fantastic it was. It was well directed. Daniel Radcliffe is fantastic at the lead, and his character is really easy to get, you know, to root for. You know, the awkward guy out of place, right? The everyman in an unusual circumstance. You've got a great cast supporting him and gore galore. It's a lot of fun, high action. It is probably, I mean, most of these are, well, we've got a really good mix. I mean, we do a lot of straight up horror films, but some of these films are on the edge, and Guns Akimbo is one that's on the edge. Of course, Fast Tonight is more of sci-fi, but this one, just in the concept alone and the execution of how everybody gets butchered and even the guns being bolted into his hands just makes it a must-see for horror fans on gore alone. It is a fine entry. And I'm happy it's number one, but I am surprised. I really thought Vast Night, when we started this, was going to make it at number one or cover out space.
Yeah, that was a tough one, but like my clit sticks with you.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you like. I don't know. No, I'm not going to go there. No.
Samara Weaving. I mean, I'm just saying, bring it.
Yeah, she's had what a great couple of years she's had. She is fantastic. We're going to be seeing more of her over the next 12 months. Eventually, as her films come out, they're all getting pushed back. But so that is our top 10. Let's talk about them real quick. I'll count them down one more time. Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street, aka documentary. Yummy, a gory fear fest. Scare Package, anthology film on the list. Dreamland, that's the what do you call it? Whiskey Trot. What is it?
Tango Foxtrot.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Yes, thank you. That's the one. The Wretched is a perfect Crystal Cleveland film. Creatures, monsters, witches. That's what she likes.
Yeah.
Why Don't You Just Die is very much like Guns Akimbo. Is just a gore fest. People, just beating the crap out of each other. I love it. Becky is a wonderful character piece that just goes bonkers. I'm not really sure. I love it. Color Out of Space might be the best Lovecraft film in many a moon, if not forever. Vast Night is a sci-fi classic and a Daydreamer film straight up. Guns Akimbo made it number one. Daniel Radcliffe I love the roles he's been taking since Harry Potter. What a great career he's having, and this film, just more people need to discover this film. I had such a great time with it. But of course, we saw 54 films. If you break up Dracula into the 3 films, because each one was an hour and a half. We covered Dracula as a series in January, but each one was an hour and a half. So I counted those each as their own film. Is that cheating?
No.
Maybe.
Nope.
It was quite the investment, but it was rewarding. So 54 films in 6 months, and I think only 17 of them made our top 10 lists.
17. That's a lot. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had
That's-
17.
yeah.
My first go through was 17. I
Oh, was it? It might have been
whittle it
all.
down.
I wonder what long. So at this time, we're going to quickly kind of go over a film that is an honorable mention. Maybe it was one on your list that didn't quite make the cut, or maybe it's one you just want to talk about that wasn't on the list in the beginning. I'll start off to give an example. Mine is Puka Lives. That's the Into the Dark film, and I just love that film. It's actually a sequel to the original Puka, which was okay. It didn't quite register as well as this one, but Puka Lives was so much fun. The creature was great. The story about it was fantastic, and I just had a great time. And I think it is by far my favorite of the Into the Dark series. And this has been a good year for Into the Dark. We've covered all of them this year for the second
and
season.
they've all been good. Just we had some better ones.
Yeah.
But they've all been solid. I think they've been solid.
I don't think there's been a thinker in the yeah. All
and
right.
I'm good with that.
Okay, you're good with that.
Yeah.
All right, Crystal, you're up next. What do you have an honorable mention?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I had a few honorable mentions that I mentioned to you.
Go ahead, give it to us.
But I don't know which one I should pick because I want to say Butt Boy, but what I'm going to go with is another zombie movie. I don't know what's wrong with me. The Blood Quantum. I loved it.
Oh, wow.
I loved it.
I think you just wanted to say Butt Boy.
Yeah, I did. Butt Boy was really funny.
It was.
Guys, it was really funny to me that there's too much to that. Something you might want to watch. But Blood Quantum was just, another zombie movie that I crazily really liked. I enjoyed. I thought it was done well. It's not incredibly groundbreaking, but it had amazing characters, and I was invested, and it was good.
Well, I liked it because it just dropped out of nowhere. They didn't announce. It just suddenly was there, and they were like, "Hey, guess what? We got a new movie." And I love those surprises. All right, Jeff Moore. I'm sure you, sir, have an honorable mention. What is it?
I do. Now, I had Bliss and Rabbit on mine, but I'm totally okay with it not being there because I put them on my top 10 last year before we reviewed them. So, and I do want to point out, I think maybe we're starting to find a category for Crystal. She liked Butt Boy, and then Lick My Clit was the other big quote from the thing. So.
Who am I? I don't even know.
No.
Anyway, the one that I am going to bring up is
All Class.
Two Heads Creek.
Two Heads Creek? Yes.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. Two Heads Creek. I had great fun with that. The more I think about that, the funnier it is, and I'm going to be watching that more than once.
Yeah, that one almost made the top 10. It almost did. It was right there.
Okay.
Yes. All right, Dave Dreyer, round us out. What is your honorable mention?
Honorable mention. I think we ended up with a pretty good top 10 list. I think we did a good job.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good.
Yes,
other than Color Out of Space, I totally agree with it. That'd be the only thing I would take that out and probably put Come to Daddy in.
Yeah.
And then I would say it's the perfect list at that point.
You go.
Vasta Night and Guns Akimbo are kind of interchangeable because they were both really, really good movies. But Come to Daddy would be the one. I was kind of tossed up between that one and The Platform. I found The Platform.
I love The Platform.
Yes. I found that one very interesting as well.
Yeah,
that was on my
list. So, but I'll go with Come to Daddy because it's more of a straightforward horror film. So.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed our countdown of the list so far. December is going to be mind blowing hard. It's going to be tough to these are also good. Can these be topped? Some of them not. There's some of these are just locked.
What the scary part is this pandemic, is it going to mess up the next half? Is this just stuff that was kind of waiting to be released, and now are we going to have a lull in the next 6 months?
I don't know.
I hope not.
Find out.
IFC Midnight alone is going to rock the next couple of months with 3 incredible features I'm looking forward to. There's some treats ahead of us. The next few weeks are going to be a lot of fun.
We could do the extended director's cut of Midsommar too, just for Dave.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Let's do that.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Doc.
No. And to be, and, there was also in the first 3 months there were actually a couple of really good theatrical films that we could have included, but we just stuck it to the ones that we covered here on Gruesome Magazine podcast. If you like what you saw or heard this evening, please subscribe either down below, or if you're listening on the podcast, subscribe there. Hit the like button, hit the bell so you can get notified. We'd love to hear from you. Leave some comments down below, or write to us at feedback@gruesomemagazine.com, or go to gruesomemagazine.com and leave some comments there. Anywhere, just find a place. We'll find you. Or go to our Facebook group. We'd love to hear from you. This is a lot of fun. I will take this time that these are our top 10, but these three here are my top 3 co-hosts. This is a great crew. And
love you, buddy.
Thank you for
champion.
Thank you for spending the past 6 months.
Not
only the past half hour, but the past 6 months going through these films each and every week.
I look forward to it every week.
It's a blast, and it's so much fun. So, yeah, Crystal, Jeff,
I love
Dave,
you.
thank
I love you guys too. Oh.
Love you too.
I don't. I know it's so awkward.
It's a socially distanced, safe hug. See.
All right.
Do fist bumps.
Yeah, that's it. Fist bump. Hey, here,
Oh,
hang on, Jeff.
yeah.
I can't do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I can't do it.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
Okay.
right there. Oh,
now I get it. Oh, wrong
All
way.
right.
Now I just look like a fisting Doc. That's a good
Yeah.
sit.
No, you're not at all. Oh my God.
That took a bad turn.
I took a terrible turn. Suddenly we got back to Butt Boy. I don't know how.
Oh, Butt Boy. Good times.
Such a movie.
All right. With that, let's say goodnight, please.
Good night.
Good night.
Gruesome Magazine.